Michael, Jen.
Stuff that Jake is doing.
Oh, my God.
Who's the showrunner? Well, Todd, do you need a job?
No, I'm the showrunner. Are you kidding me?
He's the producer, the director, the writer.
Well, I wouldn't say writer.
Yeah, we write it. Yeah, we're both writing it.
It's a sort of a wing it kind of a show, although there is a bit of prep that I do every day.
Well, there's some prep, but yeah, it's spontaneous.
There's a bit of Googling.
This is real, what do you call it? Improv. Sure. Yeah, we should go to the Groundlings and give them a lesson in how do you do improv Facebook Live.
Yeah, let's give them a lesson. Let's give them a lesson. How do you do it?
Yeah. You never say no. Yeah, and.
Yes, and. Yes. Or no, but also. That was a particularly rough one from the fart machine.
Oh, God. I don't even know what to say when you use the fart machine.
Yeah, no, it's good to be here.
Really?
We are live. Hi, Uma. Hi, Amy, Don, Scott.
Yeah, I didn't get
Sheila.
Furloughed after all.
It's good to have you back. I'm glad you decided to come back.
Yeah, we kind of kissed and made up on the show. I don't know if any of you were aware of that.
Yeah,
but we should tell them about the funny butt dial that happened today because that was quite a that was another chapter in the.
Oh yeah, well it was an interesting situation. So I went to meet a friend at the Burger King. We had worked it out. Cristela Alonso. She's a friend, and she was concerned. She's a comedian, very funny. Google Cristela Alonso, and she's been really strict with her isolating, and I've been going to not have a coffee because you're not allowed to stay in there, but I go and get a coffee, or take a walk down to Main Street. She's been not doing any of that.
Yeah, so she's been very, very isolated.
I had suggested to her a couple weeks ago we could meet at the Burger King, because one of the things we used to like to do is go have a burger for lunch at the place right near here. And so I said, well, we could go to the Burger King, go through the drive-through, and then park cop style, facing each other, so our driver's side windows were next to each other.
Oh, nice. Okay.
And so
we've all got the setup now, because I didn't have the full setup before.
So I met her there. We went through the drive-through. We got our food separately. We parked, so we're facing opposite directions, but with our driver's side windows next to each other and talking. Someone in the apartment building right behind us closed their window, when we started talking, like, oh, you people. Right. And
you talkers. Blah.
So she was saying that she watched the show yesterday and she enjoyed it. And I said, well, that was a tough episode, because Belinda and I almost stopped doing the show. It was like a Martin Lewis breakup.
Oh, well, you were the one who wrote Belinda's Last Day. I haven't
I said in retrospect, it sort of felt like one of those morning radio show things where it's like, oh, we're having a feud. But we did have a feud, but we got through it. But while I was talking to Cristela and telling her the story about what happened and a little bit of the backstory about what our disagreement was about, she's also a comedian.
Should I tell them now what happened? Because you don't know this part happened.
So I get a text. Cristela says, because we've been talking about, she was going to help me with my website redesign. And so I mentioned a website that I liked of another comedian, and she was going to go on her phone and look at it. So I was going to go on my phone and look at it so we could talk about it. And then I saw that you had texted me.
And this is the text I sent to Jake.
Yeah. Oh, you're going to read it, right?
I'm going to read the text, yes. So I said, whoever you were just complaining to about me, your phone called me. I couldn't tell if you were on a call or talking to someone in person. At first I thought Jake had got me on a conference call, and I'm like, no, he's talking about me to someone else. And I yelled at him a couple of times. Oh no, this is what I'm saying in the text. I yelled Jake a couple of times, but you couldn't hear me. Anyway, I heard you saying the stuff about the show and blah, 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 me. And then I just, I hung up, just FYI.
And that's good advice to anyone out there who accidentally gets butt dialed by someone who's talking about them, is hang up.
As quickly as possible.
Don't keep listening. But anyway,
But I was mad because I thought that he was gossiping to some friend about me,
her to someone else.
And what he told me sweetly when he came home, he hadn't had to call anyone to talk about a complaint with me for a whole year.
I haven't had a whinge about you with someone else for a year, can you believe that she did this, and this is what I have to put up with all the time.
Yeah, that's how great I've been
for more than a year. I mean, we've been married 18 years, but for 12 months you've been pretty solid, at least, or I've been great. Maybe I've been great.
No,
'Cause I've just been shutting the-
I've been great.
I've been shutting the hell up.
Yeah, it's a great technique in a marriage. That was advice I got before we got married from quite a few married couples.
So-
what's the advice to a happy marriage? Know when to shut
So when
up.
when someone butt dials you and you can hear them talking about you, hang up. And I think what happened was I must have said something in the conversation that made the phone call. You know, it's got all these voice commands, which I think I have turned off. But
Yeah, you
obviously
yell,
I don't.
Belinda!
Yeah, call Belinda.
No, you don't even have to say call me. I think you just
Well, whatever
yelled
I
my
said,
name
it
in anger
sounded
or
to the
something.
phone like it wanted me to call you. And anyway, so that's what happened. But I hadn't said anything to her that I wouldn't also say to you, or that I hadn't already said to you. And in answer to Ramon's question, yes, that is the comedian who Cristela Alonso did have her own TV show about her. And she also has an amazing book that she's put out about her, which I don't know where it is
She's
right
an
now.
amazing
but
singer.
It's called Music to My Years. And it's a great book. Her personal story is incredible. Highly recommend it.
What was the musical she toured? Was it Rent or another one that she did the national tour?
Oh God!
Oh no, she almost got a part in Rent, and she auditioned, and they auditioned you then for over a 6-month period, and then she didn't get the part, but she toured with some other musical.
Yes, and I can't remember the name of that, but when she's on, she'll be able to tell us
Yeah,
about
yeah,
that.
yeah. Well, it's not very. It's a bit dissatisfactory to tell a story about someone who's not here when you only know half the story, or not. You know, maybe it's great. Maybe telling half a story is just
Laura's
fantastic.
glad that we're both here.
Yeah, and it's
Joan,
not pantomime me.
Joan disagrees with the advice. She says, always listen. That's the best part. Don is asking, what's our marriage rating today?
Oh,
You go first.
I'd say I was gonna come straight out the bat with a 7.
Ooh! That hurts.
Oh, I was.
I had us at a solid 8 today.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, I was going to amend it and go slightly lower, but the 7.
Really? Down into 6s?
Well, I feel like we're well. I mean,
That's tough.
I'm pretty keen on you. I am. I'm not. I don't know. I feel like we could. Should we do
always-
it again at the end of the show? What
There's
about
al-
that? Should we
yeah.
do it again? Let's ask us again at the end of the show. We'll see where we're at then.
Yeah, there's always room for improvement. Keys is asking a good question, and I think Dana is here. Is it Dana who knows? How do you get the keys from the monkey? How do you get the keys from the monkey? I'm trying to look back up, but if you've already put the Dana, how do you get the keys from the monkey? I know you're here, or you were here at the beginning.
Yeah, you're definitely going to be the expert on
Yeah.
that. Anything that Jake and I say will just be a lie made up.
And sadly, he's going to give an abbreviated version, and then I'm going to retell what I think he means by that. But I think
you're going to extrapolate.
it's interesting because I am friends with Dr. Kevin Fitzgerald, who's a great comedian and also a veterinarian and former security bouncer guy for the Rolling Stones. It's Dr. Kevin.
Those are some good stories.
Oh, he's
But
so
bouncing
good.
for the Rolling Stones or being doing security is pretty wild.
But because he's Dana's weighing in here. Because he's a veterinarian, he's friends with the vet Dr. Kenny, who used to run the Denver Zoo, and so I'd been on some great tours of the Denver Zoo with Dr. Kenny, and I'd heard some very good ape stories, orangutan stories. But let's read. Obviously, you guys could be reading this stuff from Dana too, but I'd like to read it out loud for the first time to you, honey. Why don't you sit back and look into the camera?
I'll sit back.
Look
I'll
into
do
the
some
camera. You
backseat.
engage with the audience, or would you like to read it to me?
No, you read it to
No, I
me,
think
and
you
I'll
should.
be
I'll
waving
read-
at the.
I'll Number 1, orangutans at one of the zoos he worked for would trade contraband for cherry Kool-Aid. Show them the Kool-Aid and say, give me the keys, and they would retrieve it from their cheek pouch and spit them out the bars between my feet. I would then say, make a cup. The orangutans would then put out their lower lip through the bars to fill up with Kool-Aid, which they would slurp up. I love that they make a cup. Oh, I thought it was going to be like this, but what do I know about orangutans?
Not much.
But it's interesting that orangutans, unlike our president, seem to be very trusting. Like they would give you the keys first, knowing, and probably you've already come through.
Well, they know the art of the deal is integrity.
Yeah. Well, the art of the yes. Well, you say you're going to do what you're going to do.
Yes.
Once
Yeah, a gentleman's handshake or a
you
gentlewoman's
cannot pay
handshake.
your immigrant contractors and maybe get away with it if you got the right lawyers. But you burn
Yeah.
an orangutan a couple times in a deal. One time I think is enough, and the orangutan is no go.
Yeah, it will get that Kool-Aid in its cup and then spit it right at you. Yeah, I just, I'd take an orangutan over that guy any day.
So
Especially as a
Ramon
pet.
suggests you throw your feces at the monkey, and when he blinks and tries to wipe it away, he'll drop the key. You know, I feel like, Ramon, I don't want to disagree with you because you've been in the Marines and I haven't, but I would say you're going to throw your feces at a monkey. You're asking for, you're playing their game, and you never want to. What all I know about jiu-jitsu is you want to play your game, not the other guy's game. And feces throwing,
I don't think you ever want to play the poo throwing game.
No.
I mean, I don't want to. Yes.
That's out. That's a game of last resort. I feel like that's what you do if you're a convict and you have no other way to.
There are some homeless people who live outside my friend Skylar's apartment in West Hollywood, and they do some feces
poo
throwing.
game.
Yeah, and
Well, but
and,
that's again though. That's what I'm saying is you're down at the bottom. You're down at the bottom.
yeah,
Yeah, you're playing the bottom game.
yeah.
Why can't I get the live broadcast, John? I don't know what you're talking about because we're live right now.
Yeah. You're live with us, John. This is it.
but,
We're live. We're live. We're
So
live.
why don't you email me, John Emmerich, and at jakethis.com, and I can try and troubleshoot this with you. But I think you're watching the live broadcast now, unless you've gone into the future and you're leaving a comment tomorrow about today's broadcast.
Yeah. Shall I read Dana's next comment
Dana's
about the chimpanzees? Here's
yeah.
the chimpanzee story. The male chimpanzee at the zoo was a testosterone poisoned psychopath. He would regularly challenge male keepers.
Been there.
He barely tolerated my presence when doing routine chores to care for him, but he hated if I stood in front of his exhibit and looked at his girls. He would do a hooting, long call, jump around, slap the ground, and if it did not make me move along, he would then throw things in inverted commas, in quotation marks. Eventually, he would run out of things to throw and throw keys out of the exhibit. Oh, that's how you got
Oh,
the
you make him
keys.
so mad that he throws.
Oh, that he throws
the
actually the
keys
thing
at
that
you.
he likes. Wow.
Oh, I don't know. Somehow I've got the camera doing the thing that I wanted it to do now. It's kind of following us a bit.
Oh, moving around.
But anyway, sorry.
God, how the hell did that happen? I've moved out of shot.
Yeah, get back in.
Oh,
Come on,
all
get back
right.
in.
Okay.
Get
I
back in.
haven't got any
Put your
keys to
face
throw.
in that hole.
Yeah. Where's
Okay,
my?
there
Oh,
you
there's.
go.
Oh no, my circle.
All right,
Oh,
hold
it's
it. You've gone chimpanzee now. This is
Well,
not
I'm
right.
trying to be
there we go.
intuitive.
Yeah, you
I'm
are.
trying to find my light. And,
Well, that's interesting. So you can get the keys back. The first one is a trade, obviously, a negotiated trade, and the second deal is you get the ape to and I like to say monkey, even though their monkeys have tails. But you get the monkey to make a mistake and get so frustrated that he just throws the thing at you because he's so mad about some other thing that you're doing. But it's interesting that monkeys don't like it if you look at their chicks.
No, that's chimpanzees, which is very. And now we've
Yes,
got down
I
here.
know. I should have said ape, but I say monkey because it's funnier to say monkey. That's how jokes work. But yes, I do know it's
Yeah,
chimpanzees.
that's how your jokes work.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Most now here, I think this is
that's monkeys.
yeah. John, I'm watching on an iPad right now. Just FYI, I'm reading the comments off of the live feed on an iPad right now. So I don't know why yours is not
What's
working.
your iPad hooked up to, man?
Try this. Go to Facebook in your browser instead of in the Facebook app because that's a better. It works better on mine that way. Most monkeys would not trade or throw things, but they would often get bored with their stolen items and drop them in the exhibit. What I did more than once for several keepers is use a hose to wash them down the drain and retrieve them with a net at the sump at the end of the exhibit. And it's the reason we washed our hands constantly. Yeah, well, it's also interesting that you knew that this was going to happen, so the drain has a swamp where you can get things that have fallen in the cage. So let me tell so wait for them to get bored, make them trade, or get them to make a dumb mistake. Those are three great ways to get things from both a monkey or also a child.
Or also,
Your spouse? I don't know what you were going to
but
say.
that was a sweet look. Oh, I was going to talk about the other orangutan, but then I decided not to.
Yeah, let's not.
I was like, just stopped.
So I had heard this story from Dr. Kenny, and I think he was telling it on behalf of the chimp, the ape keeper, not himself, that he'd had it happen. But he had one situation where the orangutan got the one of those where the wall mount is like a fire extinguisher mount of a thing that's like this big, and there's a ring with a plate in one side that screws on to close the fire hose outlet, and the orangutan had taken that off because they're super strong, and he had the ring, and they wanted the ring back, and the orangutan had his hands through the bars of the cage and then the ring in one hand, and the keeper was coming to take it in their grip. The orangutans are super strong. You can't make them open their hand or take something out of their hand. And the orangutan would hold it like this and then look at the zookeeper and move it from one hand to the other hand, like, look, I got it. You can't get it. Oh, well, how about that? He's like really playing a game with him. And I think they used a trade of a banana to get the thing away from him. And then he also told a story about a gorilla one time, where they had a system where there's a vestibule between the outside gorilla enclosure and the indoor gorilla enclosure that generally during the day they would be outside so the visitors would see the gorillas and they could be in their natural habitat, but at night they would have them in the enclosure because they'd be safer in there. And so what would happen is they open the door to the outside, and then when the gorillas were come through the vestibule and then go into the cage, they would close the door to the outside. So there was like a waiting room in between the two doors. And in that waiting room, there was also an area where the keeper could come in from a door. So there's two doors on either side. One goes to the gorilla outside, one goes to the keeper's outside, and three doors, and the third one goes into the cage. And so the gorilla comes in from outside to go into the to its indoor enclosure, but the keeper had left the other door unlocked. And the gorilla just goes up to it, and it's the door right in front of the keeper. He opens the door, and the keeper is like freaking the hell out. Like he's now
there's a gorilla
locked
right in his
in
face.
with a gorilla. And the gorilla just goes up to him, looks at him, face me a little bit. The gorilla faces him and goes like this, just slaps him on the chest like that.
Okay,
Sorry, I didn't mean to hit you so hard.
Yeah.
But just like, you messed up, bro. And then he goes in the other cage. He didn't attack him. He was just like, bah, mistake. You made a mistake. Yeah.
This could really go bad, but it's not going to. I'm just going to give you a little
dangerous story. Yeah. What is it with these zookeepers that keep losing their keys to the monkeys? Well, look, it's not like an everyday thing. I'm just answering a question because I feel like I know the answer. We all make mistakes, and eventually you're around the gorillas or the orangutans long enough, they get your keys. It's just going to happen, right?
Well, yeah, I suppose. I mean, you try to be careful with your keys, but yes, it could happen.
Yeah.
What was the story that your friend who was the vet who was also did security for the Rolling Stones, what was the thing that happened on the roof of the garden when they arrived for
that's
Madison Square
really Dr. Kev's story. I can't tell that story,
but
right. It's a good. He's got a great story about when the Rolling Stones' wives go to see Cher. That's all I'm going to say. So when you see Dr. Kev, ask him for that story.
Yeah, it's a really funny one.
Yeah, if you're locked in a cage with an adult chimp and he wants your keys, you give them to him. I think that's pretty true. There's some comments in the conversation that I can't understand. But Dana, yeah, it's Jen. You're right. It's Dana the Monkey Show today. But we knew that was going to happen. I asked him for those facts earlier today, and this is what does "I'll be a monkey's uncle" mean? I don't know what that means. It means.
Well, maybe
it means
Rhonda could find out the answer and tell us, because it's going to be really hard for us to find it out while we're on the show.
It means my brother or sister is in a sexual relationship with a monkey.
Yeah.
Right, I think.
Yeah, but then you're going to be the kid is going to be half a monkey that you're going to be the uncle of. Do you know what I mean?
Well, I know, but that's the way it's got to. You can't become a monkey's uncle without some human has sex with a monkey.
Right. Well,
Right?
nice common sense that you use there. You
Yeah,
use
thanks.
some logic.
I feel like that was almost math, but whatever you say.
Yeah.
Yeah, Dana, thank you. Our pleasure. Thank you for being here. Thank you for giving us your monkey ape facts. All right, so I'm just trying to catch up on the comments, and then we do have a little. There's things about the Scopes trials. Orangutans sound like that we're living through currently with the Orange Twitter. Yeah, well, right. We've talked about him. I can't wait.
Maybe.
So-
We've got a nice monkey over here. There's a monkey holding up this bowl that Jake has got a New Orleans hat on. Can
Yeah,
you
that
see
is
this
a monkey back there. I think.
Yeah, this is a treasure that Jake got at a yard sale, and I begged him. I said, "Please don't get that
Yeah,
fucking
there you
monkey
go. You can really get it.
with the thing on the top of it." But he thought it was so fantastic that he insisted. And I said, "Okay, well, where did we get that? God."
I got it down at the St. Matthew's thrift store on Main
that's
Street.
right. Yeah, you did, and I did ask you not to, but you said it would be going in the office. So I said,
Yeah.
okay, if it's going to be out in the office, then you have my blessing to get the weird monkey. It's sort of like a monkey fruit bowl.
Yeah. So Jen is saying I haven't said Varinus yet today. I haven't said Varinus yet today.
Yeah, God. Well, Jen's here. You better start saying it, or is it not Varinus? You have to say something else.
She also likes it when I say Jazz Fest. And,
Yeah. Even
so
if
the
Jazz
Varinus,
Fest isn't
the
happening
Varinus
anymore.
has kept us off the comedy stage, and I'm wearing my Gundo Comedy Festival T-shirt for the El Segundo Comedy Festival.
Oh, and I'm
which
wearing my
hoping is
Patti
gonna
Smith.
happen.
This is not Mark Bolan. Who else did someone think it was once when you
No.
were wearing it? It's
Yeah.
Patti Smith on a little donkey. I went and
not
saw
sure.
her a couple of years ago. That was a absolutely fantastic concert. Flea came on to play with her, and when she saw that he had no shoes on, which is how Flea likes to play the guitar, or bass, whatever he plays, she took her shoes off as well.
Yeah.
I thumped my hand so much on a table at that concert, I actually hurt it with my rings. I was sort of having so much fun. I was kind of like banging my hands on a table. It looked cooler than it sounds. And when I'm telling you the story, you're kind of
Banging
like,
your hands
oh
on
my
a table.
God.
It
I was
It
doing
doesn't
some.
sound cool.
No,
Like, it sounds.
I know, no, it sounds
It
retarded.
sounds a bit like you're on the spectrum.
Yeah, no.
I'm really enjoying myself. I love this. I'm really enjoying myself.
Yeah, no, I think I was dancing and I was kind of, playing the table, maybe like a horrible bongo. But anyway, I really hurt my hands afterwards. I was like, oh man, what the hell did I do? That was too. That table interaction was too intense.
Yeah. Dana says some orangutans used to learn to pick locks with a piece of wire. Yeah, they're smart. Orangutans are smart. I'll tell you, one of the guy who manages the Zanies Comedy Club in Rosemont out by the airport has this he took an amazing trip to I think it was Thailand or someplace like that, or someplace in that part of Asia, where you could go and hike to see orangutans in the wild. And he said they got out there, and he had this amazing video of this orangutan who comes right up to him, and his guide is telling him, look, just be cool. And the orangutan takes a hold of his hand, and he's got video, like he's shooting this video with his phone, or the other guy. The orangutan takes a hold of his hand, and this guy's got farmer hands like my dad. He's got some pretty thick, strong hands, but you can't pull away. The orangutan's got your hand, that's it. And the orangutan's pretty good natured, and it was a mother with a baby, and the baby has got a hold of my friend, who would have been a guy in his 50s, and he's holding his hand. He wants to show the man's hand to the baby, and then the baby starts putting the hand in his mouth, and it's like you're scared the orangutan's just going to take they could just have your finger gone so fast, but there's nothing you could do about it. But he said it was just amazing. He was a little bit worried, and he tried to keep his hand folded together, but he said it was just an amazing, almost kind of a spiritual experience to have this kind of connection with another wild primate.
I hate to tell you, but Lilia Illis, my animal geography teacher, would not approve of them
No, I'm
touching.
sure.
Because
Well,
you
you're
know
not
everyone
supposed
is
to
going to
touch them.
those gorillas.
Yeah,
They're going
you're
to
not
see
supposed to
the
touch them.
gorillas in the mist, and they're touching them and wanting to get up close, and they put their hands out, and you're not supposed to do that. You're supposed to not pass your microbial soup over to them.
Yeah. No, well, it's not just passing your microbial soup. It's sending, once they become
Acclimatized to us.
they think, oh, people are safe. And yes, of course, we're safe. All of us are safe. All of us here on the Varinus podcast or whatever you call this thing are safe.
We just
But-
want to hold their hands.
Yeah. Yeah, I just want to hold your hand. Like Paul McCartney. So anyway, don't touch the monkey. That's the takeaway from today's show. Don't touch the monkey. People are telling each other how to comment directly to people's comments on here, and it can be a little tricky with the clicking and commenting underneath the comment. But
Yeah, I'm finding it actually too confusing to look at the. Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. One more. An orangutan grabbed the vet's leather coat. We had to cut the coat off with a knife. Yeah. Well, he said you had said that yesterday. Yeah. You're not. The grip strength of orangutan is not to be. That's it. You're not getting your hand back if he doesn't want to give it back.
He couldn't just take himself out of the coat and let the orangutan have it. Grab the vet's leather coat. We had to cut the coat off with a knife.
Well, it depends on where he's got.
Yeah. No, I get it. I
Yeah.
just would have sort of like
Like if
slunk out of my
right, But if
coat.
the orangutan has this grip, like that, you're cutting the coat off. Can everyone see that grip?
Yeah.
This is a good jujitsu
Yeah,
grip.
he's-
I hardly ever get to grab onto her like this.
Oh.
God, I'm just so missing. Oh, I was going to bring the jujitsu dummy today.
You could run
Okay.
up and get it. You've
No,
got time?
no, this show is winding down. I just want to tease a little bit tomorrow's show.
right.
So tomorrow's show.
Well, you better be here for the jujitsu dummy because it's a piece of art. It's Jake's best friend, apart from me. And what else can I tell you about the jujitsu dummy?
it's not really my best friend. I've got a,
No, I know,
I've
but
got
what
real
would
human
what
best
but
friends.
what would be really good is if you could see him. I did say this before when we were up there
It's
and he
already
was
so
rolling on the
pathetic.
floor.
Wrestling the jujitsu dummy is
No,
so
when you did
pathetic.
it the other day for Amber, you did it with such conviction. I mean, I was sort of watching you do it. I mean, you were really, it was really like you were, having a, proper role. I was like, man, he commits to that thing.
It's a bit like
I'd feel self-conscious and a bit like I'm doing jujitsu with a fucking dolly and not even a very good dolly, but you really went for it. Doll.
Well, it's a bit
Doll.
like masturbating. You have to let your imagination run a little bit, or it's not going to work. So,
Well, yeah.
so would you like
All
to
depends.
round out today's show? And I've got some animal facts that I didn't even put in today, and I teased it in the little name of the day
Oh.
to show. That's my friend's favorite emoji combo, and you can't kind of see it here, and it's broken up by the lines. But it's a sloth and then a
sloth.
squirrel, but it looks like the squirrel is putting the nut right into the sloth's butt.
Oh,
So it's a really
well, I
good-
think sloths are lovely. We went to
Well,
Costa Rica
no,
a few years ago.
Ho,
What?
time out. Now that's tomorrow.
I just said they were lovely.
Yes, okay.
Bossy.
We,
Okay.
we know I'm bossy. So what do you want? You want something from
Let's do Seize the Day.
Seize the Day? You don't want to book a question?
Oh, I'm just sick of those silly
No
questions.
questions today.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I'm looking out there and saying it was great to see you all today. Great to see you all on the Magic Mirror Show. And now it's time for our book of questions. I'm just going to kind of thumb through here at a rando. This is from Jerry Seinfeld, and this is from my friend Rachel Cole. Now there was someone here who wanted a birthday wish yesterday, and I forgot to write that down. But yes, the book of questions. I know, Uma, you love the book of questions. Tomorrow we'll do a questions.
We could do a question and a quote if you like. I mean, I bend the rules. I know.
Man,
yeah.
you're so liberal with.
I'm a little more flexible than.
I have been doing yoga. To me, this is a Jerry Seinfeld quote, and it's from
Okay.
this.
I'm
book
not
of
gonna read it over
inspirational
his
things.
shoulder. I'll
such
just
a
let
nice
it
gift.
hit
If you're
me.
thinking of giving someone a gift, this was a great idea. It's a notebook that Rachel Cole got for me, and she wrote little quotes by people that she thought would be pertinent to me in here, and they are, and it's really nice to just browse through and see them. So
If
today's
you want to have a little cry,
no.
right now you can. I've got a hanky.
I got my hormones in balance right now. This is from Jerry Seinfeld. He said, "To me, life boils down to one thing. It's movement. To live is to keep moving." Okay, I didn't even read that right. Let me read it again. To me, if life boils down to one thing, it's movement. To live is to keep moving. And so we've been trying to keep moving during the Varinus time. Not
Yep.
as much as we would be moving around if we were at Jazz Fest right now.
Jen, that's for you, not
That's for
so
you.
pointedly.
Want you to get your drinks in. So this was great. I know you don't have anywhere to go after this, Uma. I'm trying to get another show where I talk to someone else on Zoom to post after this for people who want to hang out. So, but that's just a window into. These are all the fantasies that I have about other things that I'm going to do. When in fact, I got plenty of stuff to do after this. So we're going to have.
Okay, you're going to ask me a question? Oh,
all right.
A bit of a weird angle. Okay, I'm completely relaxed in the wheelchair now. Okay, hit me with the question.
Oh, excuse me. Did I cough right in your? Did I varinus you? Are you okay?
No, I'm pretty immune to you at this point.
So
I mean, under your spell and immune to you.
This is
at the same time.
question 199, and we're into the bonus round today. You're given $1 million to donate anonymously to charity or to a stranger. How would you dispose of it?
Oh, God.
Well, they're not in the book of questions for nothing. These are toughies. These are real ponderations. This is a book full of them. $1 million, you can give it to what did I say?
Does it have to be one person
You
or
can give
one
it to a
organization?
charity. You can give it to a charity or to a stranger. I think it's got to be one. You
Yeah.
can't go. I give half to a charity and half to a stranger. I give 1 million people $1. Those kind of answers.
Yeah.
I mean, I think you know what I think
Yeah,
of those
those-
answers just
yeah,
by
yeah,
the
they
voice
suck.
that I. Yeah.
So I suppose right now, well, I suppose I'd give it to some sort of a food bank or, someone feeding people, because I feel like that's a thing that needs to be taken care of right now.
Yes.
So that's what I would do.
I agree. Well, that's.
I mean, and that is that's a charity that we do anyway, but I think that it would have to be feeding people, because people aren't getting fed. And when you heard that thing about, one of the major things with varinus, and LeBron said it on that special the other day for the class of 2020 that he produced, that Obama was the keynote speaker in, and it was pretty fantastic. But LeBron talked about how important schools are, because for a lot of kids, that's the one place where they know that they have food security and where they get food. And actually, there are kids in LA who get sent home with backpacks with food in them, so that's how their family get food. So that's what I would want to do. I would want to feed the people. So whoever was the best at feeding the people, that's the organization I would give the $1 million to. I actually think $1 million. I wish it was more than $1 million.
Dana would give his money to Planned Parenthood in Mike Pence's name. I think that's a good one.
Yeah, that's a good one.
The Human Fund. I'm not sure what that is. I think that's just human beings. Mar-a-Lago, Uma.
Yeah.
So solid.
Yeah. Planned Parenthood would be good.
I like Jen's answer. She would just keep it, but you're missing the question, Jen. Is you have to either donate it to a charity or give it to a stranger. So let me help you. First of all, let me help you because I don't think you understood the question. Not to mansplain, but here's what you do if you want to keep it. You give it to a small, weak stranger, and then you can take it away from them.
Yeah. So, Michael, you're one. Any foundation that is trying to end conversion therapy, you would also do that in Mike Pence's name, because he's one of those weird, homophobe, conversion therapy proponents.
Oh,
so you would give it. So you could give half to Planned Parenthood in his name, and I know you're not allowed to split it up, but it would be kind of funny, and then half to anti-conversion therapy.
Yeah. Well, look, conversion therapy is for another episode, but let's all have sex with whoever we want. Until we see you tomorrow at 3:00.
Yeah. And Jake is encouraging you to have sex with whoever you want, as long as they're a consenting adult and they're the person.
Yes. Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Just
Please.
let's get that straight.
If you're a big, physically imposing person watching this is not a green light to go tackle someone that you've been attracted to for a long time. It's consensual sex
with adults,
with whoever you want.
Yeah, with other people who are allowed to have sex.
Man, your qualifiers are so dark.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I mean, I trust that you're all nice people. I don't know why I have to spell it out so clearly. I just feel the need to right now.
All right. Hey, thanks for watching.
Yeah, thanks, guys.
We'll be back 3 p.m. tomorrow. This is Hump Day. We got halfway through this week. We're going to make it the rest of the way. Don't give up. There's going to be time to give up later. Next week, oh my God.
I got my keys. Jake did not put them up his butt, so I'd have to do something terrible to get them back during the show.
Oh, I see.
Yeah. Remember, half the show was about keys.
How do you get a monkey to take the keys out of his butt and give them to you?
Yeah.
And do you really want? Isn't it easier to hire a locksmith? We'll see you tomorrow, 3 p.m. weekdays. Share, like, tell a friend, help